everyone, and welcome back to another penny stock video. And sorry if my voice is a little raspy, just a little sick right now, but we're going to dive right into a really exciting new micro float ticker that's been getting quite a bit of buying and traction over this past couple of days. And that ticker is right here, DZCA, Drazcana Inc. Now, this was actually a shell and currently seeking a merger, and they just got a merger, which is this in this business description, right? Drazcana Inc. is announcing that change in business direction and control has occurred. The company business plan is moving into the electric vehicle industry. The company is now under the leadership of CEO Jihad Mohammed. We will be changing our company name to EV Electra. That will reflect our new business direction. So, EV Electra is what's coming into this ticker, and this is a really fascinating opportunity here for the OTC, because what the information that we have available on EV Electra makes it seem like it's quite a large venture to be coming into an OTC stock. But before we take a look at that, let's take a look at our share structure as we always do. And here we have a super tight share structure, very small float, tiny. I think the smallest we've ever covered in these videos so far. And that is right here. You can see held at DTC is just over 1 million shares. So there's just over 1 million shares in this float. You can see there's about 8.5 billion restricted, which gives us 9.9 million outstanding, which means at 84 cents we're still under 10 million market cap. And that's going to be significant in just a moment. If you recall, we covered BLFR in a past video. BLFR had already gone up a lot. But we talked about in the video how the market cap was still extremely low for what they were merging in, right? And we saw that after that video, BLFR continued to run and still has performed well because of that, right? Because the valuation was just far too low. DZCA could be another circumstance like that, where we can see several days of just green here, just based on the market cap, right? Because right now I know the market cap says 1.8 million here, but it hasn't adjusted for today's new price because it did go up quite a bit today. But it's still under 10 million market cap and on a 1 million share float. So really tight share structure, and that market cap is going to be important, because let's take a look at EV Electra now and see why this is looking like a pretty darn big deal. Here is their website. And so what EV Electra actually is an electric vehicle company based out of Lebanon, and they're targeting different audiences: Canada, Germany. I think it says right down here, Canada, Germany, Denmark, Palestine, Jordan, as well as Lebanon, obviously. And you can see they have several upcoming models right here. So they have their E-Cab, the Quad, which is like, I guess, their main, or the Quids, however you pronounce that, is their main kind of car series. They have like a sportier version, right? They have a luxury version. So this is one of the first electric vehicle companies that we've seen come out of the Middle East and be completely started up in the Arab world. So they're definitely capturing a market that's pretty untapped in that regard. I would assume they have Teslas and things like that over there, but they don't have any of their own domestic electric vehicles. Well, that has now changed clearly with EV Electra. You can see EV Electra is the first electric automotive manufacturer which started its R&D in Lebanon and the Arab world. The company was kicked off as a division of Jihad Mohammed Investment to become an independent entity based in Lebanon, with offices in Turkey, Germany, Canada, Italy, and the Netherlands. So that's a little brief rundown on it. We can take a look at some of their models here. If we take a look at the Quids Capital ES, here we are. You can see I think they're still using some 3D renders, but I'll show you in a moment. They do have some cars already made as well. Here's a little specifications: 250 kilometers per hour max speed, 100 kilometers per hour in less than 4 seconds. You got your lithium ion, 5 seats, display, 400 horsepower dual all-wheel drive motor, etc. So pretty quality vehicles from what we can see so far. And they're also going to be retailing for 30,000 USD, so it's a competitive price as well. And I believe vehicles are going to be launching for retail very soon. So let's take a look at some more things, right? What is really making this such a big deal? Because we don't know too much just from looking at the cars. Well, we can look at their news, and we can see that they went public through an ERC20 token. They did some public fundraising in November 15th, 2021. And they have a press release about it here on their website, and you can see that they said in 2021, with a third-party valuation of the business of approximately 12.5 billion euros, EV Electra has already received a large number of inquiries regarding the private sales phase of the dematerialized shares. So, that is absolutely massive. You remember I was talking to you and saying, don't forget about this market cap, right? I don't use market cap a lot as a major factor in my OTC trading, but in this case, it certainly plays a factor, because if we're under $10 million market cap and we have a company that's been received a third-party valuation of 12.5 billion euros, obviously there's a huge discrepancy in the current market cap of DCZA and the third-party valuation of EV Electra. So that's obviously huge. We almost never see numbers in the billions being tossed around in OTC. This seems to be really a NASDAQ caliber valuation here. So we're pretty lucky to get this coming into OTC on a 1 million share float. But yeah, obviously, again, huge discrepancy between their third-party valuation and the current market cap, which could imply there's really a ton of upside here still, and that we're basically just getting started. You know, it may look like it's up a lot percent-wise, which is true, but it also has a very large spread. It's extremely thin, and it's a 1 million share float, so that's just how they're going to behave when an empty shell at a $1 million market cap gets this type of merger. You know, it's gonna have a high percent increase on the share price. So what we're looking for here is really for the market cap to adjust higher, at least a bit, to kind of match this third-party valuation, which is out of this world, right? So there's a lot more DD on this. They also acquired here, you can see not only do we have that large valuation, but we here on November 16th, 2021, you can see they invested $500 million into Detroit Electric. So here we have it. There's a new sign of life from Detroit Electric vehicle manufacturer. EV Electra has announced an investment of over $500 million in the acquisition of a majority stake in Detroit Electric. So, these guys clearly have massive Saudi money or something behind this. I don't know if there's like a Saudi prince funding this thing, but obviously there is massive, massive money backing this venture. And the fact that they're able to invest $500 million into Detroit Electric, I mean, I think that kind of lends some credibility to this third-party valuation of 12.5 billion euros earlier, right? Because if they have that money to invest, then clearly there is significant capital being put into this project. So again, that justifies a much higher valuation in terms of market cap here, which means we could have a significant amount of upside still. Here, if we look at I have some articles here just to kind of confirm some of the credibility and legitimacy of this. You know, it's not just themselves talking about it. There are quite a few articles, mostly from 2021, which was their big plan launch before there was some, disasters in the Middle East that have set them back a little bit from launching. But they were originally going to launch 10,000 units in 2022. But you can see there's quite a bit of articles on it. This is actually from March 23rd, 2023. This is one of the most recent. Lebanon's EV Electra, an electric car for the Arab world. Here's a photo of it driving around on the ground, right? And it says here as well, Jihad Mohammed, the CEO of EV Electra, is working to change that. European Business Magazine named him Middle East CEO of the Year 2023. So impressive, caliber CEO here with Jihad Mohammed. Says right here, is European Business Mag CEO of the Year for the Middle East 2023. That's good enough for me, right? I mean, clearly people know him, and he's got to be decent at his job if that's the case. Here's another car picture. Here's another render. This looks like a render photo. But you can see, they have a lot of designs, they have a lot of concepts, and they have some actual cars already developed as well. Couple more articles I want to look at. You can see this is from May 25th, 2021. Electra Rise, Lebanon's first sporty EV, costs $30,000 and looks like this. And so this is a really nice photo of the car. Looks very nice from here. And this is just another article that's talking about the history of this company and how it's going to be really the first EV company coming out of the Arab world. And then one more article here as well, just showing you so you can see that it's gotten international coverage already. This is from Al Jazeera. Talks about hopes of 10,000 vehicles will be produced by next year. They even have their own Wikipedia page, so they are, at least from what I can tell, fairly well known already in the Arab world. Here's their Wikipedia page. Talks about some of the history of the company. It was established in 2017 by Jihad Mohammed. So they've been around for a while, working on this concept for quite a while, about 6 years now. Here is a video of the car. So there it is on the road, the EV Electra. So there's proof that they have real working cars that are street drivable and, ready for launch, essentially, right? So this is not just renders of vehicles. They actually have vehicles on the road, you can see from that video. There's a quick video of their headquarters as well. So very ambitious EV startup coming out of Lebanon here, but obviously, that's a pretty large market in the Arab world that does not have their own domestic EV yet. So I think they could capture a lot of that audience. One more thing about Detroit Electric, which they invested the $500 million into. Here's some great DD from Ace at 550Ace on Twitter. You can see the $500 million acquisition that EV Electra completed is Detroit Electric. They're currently sitting on 900 patents, and the CEO is Albert Lamb, former CEO of Lotus Engineering. So here's information about Detroit Electric from Electra EV website, and it does say here 900 patents. And here's information about Detroit Electric. The Mark Group was revived in 2008 by Albert Lamb, former group CEO of the Lotus Engineering Group, and executive director of Lotus Cars of England, which is a very successful car brand for those who don't know. So absolutely massive merger, which we've been very lucky this year because I feel like I've said that a lot in past videos, and each time we come back to massive merger, it gets bigger and bigger each time. So we've been very blessed in the OTC this year to get some of these really incredible looking mergers. And yeah, DCZA, again, we keep coming back to this 12.5 billion euro valuation. There is just huge upside in terms of market cap here, being under a 10 million market cap still, with billions of dollars being valued in the company. So that's DCZA. That's EV Electra. Could it be the biggest merger we've seen this year? I think based on the numbers that we've just gone over, it actually is. And I very much look forward to seeing how high this price can go, guys, because it really has a ton of room. Here's the chart. You can see, I think when there was a little bit of a leak or some teasing of the news back in... Oh, you know what this was? This was when it was Saib. So went through a different merger back then. But this was in 2021 on the same float with way less hype, with not even half as cool as merger. It did, $1.50. So you can see there's plenty of room on the chart. I don't know why. I mean, I would certainly expect it to break that just because that was with nothing. And now we have very much of something here. So I do think it could break those old highs over the $1.50 mark. But we're about to find out, right? But the point is there's plenty of room on this chart to go a lot further and to adjust that market cap higher. So there it is, guys. DZCA, 1 million share float. Very much excited for this one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.